Hey everybody, this is Christine Bertram and I am coming to you live from the Hive here in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. It's Monday, it's the 21st of July and we are just a couple hours after what time we would normally go live. We pushed it back to 3 o'clock today because we started designing for Let's Just Stamp for August at about 11 and we needed more than an hour and a half to get that done. So I had to work with the time that I have with Diane, and so we snuck that in and we got them finished. I think that they're hot off the press. We finished the last card around 2:30, so I have some cards to share with you for August's Let's Just Stamp. And I'll be honest, we didn't know at 11 o'clock if you would have asked us, well, what are we going to feature for Let's Just Stamp next month? We didn't know. And we pulled it out of the air and we thought, well, we were going to go with it. It was hard picking stuff, and normally we plan out the whole calendar for the next 4 months when the catalog launches, and I think we had it on our radar. We were going to do beautiful butterflies, but I think you guys might be butterflied out for a whole class because we did the ink, paper, scissors, and there's been so many butterflies throughout the whole butterflies. There's lots of butterflies and flowers. So we have flowers again. I can't say that there aren't flowers. There's definitely more flowers, but we went with and opted for some online exclusives that are going to be, that just launched, that are newer, and so that's what we're going to feature for next month. So in case your inquiring minds want to know, I will share that with you momentarily. Hi, Sarah Merchant. Hi, Debbie Gast. Hi, Suzanne. Hello, Randy Schultz. Hi, Donna Grushke. Hi, Jean Shute. And there is Connie Moore. Yay! So I don't know if I messed up a few people. I apologize by pushing the class out 2 hours. Sometimes it's like you got to work with what you can. And so the great thing about it is if you guys couldn't watch this live, you can always catch the replay as soon as we're done. So that always works out good. Hi, Linda Hunt. So we are going to be working with Painterly Pairs, which is the name of the suite. The stamp set and bundle is called Perfectly Pairs. Hello, Nedra Dover. And I will, let's just do roll call right off the bat. I have a few of this class available. We cut back on this one, and we cut back, and it was the right amount of cutting back because we didn't make more, and we still have a few left. We normally in the past had done 60 for Let's Just Stamp, and we pushed it back to 52. So we cut back by 8, and it looks like I have 6 left, and Diane's got a full house tomorrow night with 8. And in case anybody wants to take this class in person tomorrow night with Diane, there's still space. And if you want to get these card kits mailed to you or porch pickup, we still have a few left. We have a half a dozen left, it looks like. So hello, Paulette. Hello, Mimi. Hi, Mary Lemke. Hi, Trisha. Sneaking in to watch, well, still working. That's an advantage of working from home. Absolutely. Hi, Karen Woods. All right, so I like to do roll call because first it lets me identify for you guys if I've got your name on the list. Sometimes it happens where we miss, so when you send a list, this happened with Doris Munson last week. She had sent us a list of the classes she wanted for July, and lo and behold, monthly was the first one on the top of the list, but it didn't pop out at me and Carissa when we wrote up her list because it said monthly, and it was just blended right in. And so it was very true. She signed up for class, but we missed it when we emailed her with her total. It wasn't even listed in the total. And she sent the payment, and it never got included in the total. So we both missed it on all ends. And the good thing about it is by doing the roll call, she didn't hear her name. And that way we could get her on the list and we can add it into her August class list. So there we go. We got that figured out. And also we got Connie Moore figured out. So it helps me to identify if we're missing anybody from the class list. And then also I like to say thank you to people who register to get kits for this class or any of my classes. There's a lot of product that gets consumed in them, and you place orders or you can pay for them, and that helps support my small business, and I greatly appreciate the support, you guys. So first, and definitely first on the list, I've got my Julie B's, you guys. So I got Julie Bierschbach and Julie Bontringer. They are colliding, I guess, at the same times, it seems these days, in my mind, for my signups. Hi, and then Sandy Coy Emery, Feline Mays, Karen Woods, Pat Fleming, Karen Wetstein, Fancy Nancy Billets, Donna Grushke, Joanne Naples, Sherry Everett, Connie Moore, Brenda Cottrell, Jean Shute, Lisa LaFramboise, Angelique McClendon, Julie Damaris, Leslie McMinn, Debbie Gast, Linda Scott, and Linda Hunt. You two have been for the last couple of years always neck and neck with the signups. Trisha Fagley, Sarah Merchant, Kelly Gibson, Mary Carls, Mary Lemke, Jenny Knutson, Susan Bellamy, Elaine Piranio. So Elaine, that feels like the first time I said your name out loud. Hopefully I said that correctly. Vera Anderson, Lori Baxter, Patty Wright, Lynn Beasley, Carrie White, Connie, oh, see, there's the deal. I got Connie Moore in here twice. Okay, so Connie Moore is in here twice, but I know she wasn't meant to be. So Nedra Dover and Cindy Runtree. So I think we had, I'm pretty sure Connie, when you're watching, if you're watching me live now or when you're watching later, if you can confirm your package only had one set of cards, that is going to be important. The fact that I have your name written down twice and I have 2 check marks next to it, it may mean that you got 2 sets in your box. So just let me know what you find. That would be great if it happens. So, and at the end, we'll do a door prize drawing for somebody who placed an order to get the class for free. All right, lots of you guys are here, and we appreciate you guys all watching. Hello, Mary Russum. Oh, Connie Moore is watching. So Connie, I'm not sure when your box is set to arrive because I think I mailed it last week, either Tuesday or Thursday. So when you have a chance to check in your box, just make sure you only have one Let's Just Stamp. That would be awesome. All right, so let's flip the camera down here. I have a couple things I just want to share real quick before we go over what we're working with today. I have Lucky Hand in person tonight, which features sweet jars, and I do that on Thursday night with you guys, and it's called Game Night. And I have maybe 12 spots left for the lucky or the sweet jars with Game Night. And we had the Valentine's Day, a birthday, a St. Patty's Day, and then Who Stole the Cookie from the Cookie Jar card. And so there are still spots for this class in case anybody is interested. Don't hesitate to reach out if you're looking for these. And what else? Oh, I was going to show you real quickly what's coming up for next month. Let's Just Stamp. So so I know that we showed off the Floral Charm Stamp-a-Stack that is next month. And when we were trying to pick out what to use for Let's Just Stamp, we did decide to go with the Floral Charmer or Charming Day stamp set. But what we did is we married it with Label Me Grateful. If you guys watched my monthly class, you know we did a Label Me Grateful card, just a single card that used the dies. Well, I was told, I think it was Karen Wetstein that said, you should buy those stamps because those stamps are perfect for thank you cards. And so my Label Me Grateful stamps that I ordered just arrived on Saturday. So what we did is we married Charming Day with Label Me Grateful, and we're going to call it the Label Me Grateful and Charming Let's Just Stamp for next month. And so these are the cards we came up with, and they use these 2 stamp sets. Now, we did not make the cards look anything like the Floral Day Stamp-a-Stack, okay? They are going to be completely different, but they just feature some of these 2 flowers, right? Hello, Michelle. The box is still in the way. When I get it, you'll check. Perfect. Thank you so much. Hi, Mary Novak. Okay, so what we did is we married these 2 together. Hi, Polly Libby. We married basically from here, what we did is we used these 3 stamps, and then we pulled in these sentiments. So for those of you that like to have matching stamps with the cards that we do, you might consider getting it. But if you have other sentiments and you have other flowers, you could definitely get by without investing in these stamp sets. And we did 2 that featured the flowers on the front. So this was the first card we made. And we did, so Let's Just Stamp normally doesn't include much die cutting, but we did throw in a couple dies here from the Hugs the Bloom dies that were paper pumpkin dies, and they're going to be die cut for you. And then if you don't have that exact flower, whatever else you could use in your flower arsenal, like I'm sure you have flowers at home. Most of us that are stampers, they have flower stamps. And so some bigger stamp here would be great. It says, "You're the best." And then on the inside, we've got a thank you card. And I can see here, I got yellow ink on there. Oops. And then this one, we have a little kindness makes a big difference. And that's where we use the little stamp with the flower. And then on the inside, we use the little flower again. So the designer paper that we featured here, this is actually perfect because it's the Painterly Pears paper. And then we kept this one more masculine with the espresso and mossy and olive combination, complete with cat fur always, you guys. There's just something about cat fur that can get stuck on these embellishments and on ribbon and there. So grateful for that heart of yours. And then you are so appreciated. Now, the words might not be what you're looking for these specific cards, but know that when you're at home and you're making your cards, you can use whatever sentiments. We tried to keep it in the family by using these 2 stamp sets. But when you get these kits at home, you could stamp whatever sentiments you want, and then we just have 2 focal images on these 2 cards. And otherwise, we did tie in some die cutting, which we don't normally do, but we thought, you know, why not? So Mimi says, yay, my charming day, sweet, and label me grateful are arriving Wednesday. So this would be a great class for you then. Hi, Jenna Helms. Same with dog hair. Yeah, it's everywhere. So that's what we've got for you for Let's Just Stamp for next month. And we're going to get that photographed probably on Thursday. We'll create cover photos. So for those of you who like it and know you want it, you could go to that email that you've staged or start an email, and you could start that template of, hey, I would like to get signed up for this class, but don't hit send until you know all the classes you want. It's so much easier for us to reply to one email with all the classes you're looking for in August versus you to send an email for this class and then an email for this class and then an email for this class and then an email. All of a sudden we've got 10 emails going back when it could have just been a couple. So just a note that if you know you want it, or jot it on a piece of paper that you want the label me grateful and charming, Let's Just Stamp, and then as you see the other classes you want, you can send a list to us. We're going to be designing ink, paper, scissors tomorrow. And then the suite and the monthly class will be designed on Thursday. So my game plan is to do a showcase with you probably on Monday or Tuesday. All right, for those that really are excited to wait for that. You're not really excited to wait for it. You're excited to see it, and you're gonna have to wait for it till early next week is my plan. If I can get to it sooner, I will definitely do it sooner. All right, so there's a little insider information of what's coming up for August, one of the August classes. As we design things, I like to share them with you. Why don't you glue in the insides of the cards? That's a good question. I don't, because when we do in-person classes, we put our cards in a cellophane envelope and the inside goes on the back. I'll show you what I mean by that. Okay, 1 second. I'm gonna flip the camera down here and I'm gonna put it onto what you are gonna be working with tonight or today. I keep saying tonight, I know it's today yet, but wait 1 second. So, 1 moment, please. So I'm going to be brutally honest. When people come to in-person class, they don't intend to, but they get glue and they get ink and crap on your cards. Okay? I'm just going to put it out there. They don't try to, but inadvertently stuff gets messed up. And what we do when, and if you're a demonstrator who holds classes, this is a hot tip for you if you don't do this already, you got to keep your cards in cellophane. When you keep your cards in cellophane, then if it lands in an ink pad or in the chamois or in glue, you don't wreck the card. And I have always kept 1 card of every class I've ever done since 2016, and I don't like to have glue on them or ink on them, and people don't mean to do it. So I get that. It's always an accident, and it's not a happy accident. It's an accident, right? Sad face. So we don't take the cards out of the cellophane unless they're necessarily a fun fold that you have to see what it's all about, but this is exactly why we don't. So what happens when we do in-person class, these are the samples that get set out on the table, and the inside is on the back. And it's not glued back there, right? It is definitely loose. And at some day in the future, if I ever choose that I'm like, oh man, I need to use my cards, or I want to pass it on to somebody else, I can easily take, and this is Diane's sample, but I could easily, and Diane doesn't necessarily keep her samples, she could at some point take the inside and glue it into the inside. So it is done that way intentionally because my sample cards are also, so we always create 2 cards. So this is Diane's set, and then I have my set. So we generally have 2 to 3 sets of cards when you have in-person class, because you have 4 people that are making the same card, you need 2 samples in front of people. Sometimes we even have 3 samples. So you can see here all of hers, and this one is in the inside, but it needs to be back here. So that just helps to keep ink, chamois juice, and glue adhesives off of our cards. So hopefully that helps. And the thing is, if the inside is back here, then people only have, and when it's up in the stand, all they have to do is pick it up and look at it. They don't have to open it, take it out of the plastic. Our cards don't get wrecked is what happens. Why we don't glue them on the inside. But that's a great question. So you'll never see me ever gluing in an inside unless it's a fun fold or some sort of where we know that they're gonna have to take it out of the plastic. And if we know they're gonna have to take it out of the plastic, then we'll glue it on the inside, because sometimes they accidentally take our inside and glue it in their card, and then they give us their inside. And that happens. So that's why we'll only glue in ones that are fun folds. So hopefully that answers your question, Mimi. Long answer. It wasn't a short answer, sorry about that. But anyways, so these are the 3 cards that we're gonna be making today. They feature the Painterly Pairs suite, which you guys, if you're part of my Beekeeper's Guide folder, you could find this in there. It's called the Online Exclusives July 2025 release. It is in there. You could print this off. We are not going to be inserting this into version 3 of the Beekeeper's Guide until version 3 is ready to be launched, which would probably be sometime in August. So we can as demonstrators order for what's called a pre-order for the mini catalog and the September online exclusive next month. And as soon as we can get into the website and see the pre-order, that's when Kelly's going to start working on creating version 3 of the Beekeeper's Guide. And these things then will get transferred into it, as well as all the new things, and any last chance things that are updated as last chance are going to be taken out. So that new Beekeeper's Guide version 3 is going to be coming out next month. Hi, Karen Green. Hi, Snowy Mom. Makes sense to you? Good, good. All right, so in the Painterly Pairs suite, there's some designer series paper. There's this really pretty green ribbon, which we use on all 3 cards. And we use this gem pack here. It's called Low Profile Sparkle Dots. There's 3 different colors, and we use the yellow on one card, blue on one card, and green on the other. Hi, Hope Toy. And we did end up using the dies from this set. I think we pulled in the pair itself and also the little double pair here and the stems. Otherwise, we didn't use much for the dies. For this is one of the designer papers. That's one and that's one. So there's 6 different double-sided pages, and for this class for July, we used 3, and what we did is we saved the other 3 for the next month, which you guys could tell here, then this is the pear paper. You wouldn't know it, but on the back side of this, there's a bunch of pears back there, and so there's pear paper, that is also the pear paper, and then that's the pear paper, all right? So between these 6 cards, we used 1 each of those double-sided papers, and I don't know exactly what's on the back side of those. It's really hard to see here from that, but that's how we kind of went through with this class, is to maximize that we split out the papers. Hello, Carmen Melendez. All right, so that's a little bit about what we're using. I don't know, there's the colors that we pulled in for class. We're going to be using Petal Pink, Old Olive, Secret Sea, and Early Espresso. I think that's what we got pulled in. In one of your kits, you're going to see that we added a Velcro dot for you. And I'm going to teach you guys this technique that is inking up your stamp and then using a dauber, using one of these daubers to add a little bit of color to it. Because pears will get that color of yellow or pink that they've got some blushing on them. So that's what we're going to feature. There's a little, also some stamping here on the side using that stem. So very cool. Let me see if nope, I didn't grab that out. So let me grab that out of here. And we'll get right to town putting these cards together. So one moment, so let me get a block. And I gotta grab my card kits. So for you guys that get your card kits from me, just know that you're gonna have a golden ticket in the top of your 3 cards. They're all 3 white envelopes. It says, let's just stamp Painterly Pairs. Today's date is July 21st. The golden ticket is perfect for you to refer back to so you know what class it is. We just did get the tutorial finished. I think it went out into everybody's inboxes around 10:30 this morning. So for those people that I listed in the roll call, you were included in that email. And if anybody signs up afterwards, we'll get the tutorial to you after you sign up and pay for class. So again, there's about 6 left. This is also great if you're looking for this class on YouTube later. You can look Cards by Christine, Painterly Pairs, and you'll see the video pop up. So let's see which one is first. Okay, so that's this one. We might just start with that one, I think, and we'll work our way. Well, I think that the tutorial actually had this one first, so then this must be that. We'll do this one first because this is the one that actually has the blushing of the pear on here. And if you like that, I want to show you how to do that so that when you get to the other two cards, if you opt to go that route, you could do that on all your cards. All right, so in your kit, so when you get a class from me, you get your card kits in an envelope. And anything that is embossed comes that way. Anything die cut that isn't a focal image comes that way. But like these pears, we didn't die cut them for you because you might not have this stamp set. So what we do for focal images is we give you a piece of white, the size that the sample has, and then if you don't have the pears, you could always use something else. Or there might be an older pear set that you want to use. So in this one, when you open that up, there will be some yellow gems. Those yellow gems are from this suite of products. We talked about them just a little bit ago. There are 3 different colors, and those colors are Darling, Duckling, Mossy Meadow, and Secret Sea. All right. So in this one, you'll see that we rounded your corners. It gives the card a really cool look when you round the corners. So I believe Karen Wetstein and Annette helped me with that. So thank you to those helpers, and Tammy and her mom Sandy for helping with die cutting. And then this one is your Secret Sea base. So what we did is we rounded the corners on the end. You're going to want to grab your bone folder and burnish. Now we used a retired punch. It's called the Detailed Trio Punch. Hi, Laura Sullivan. Sometimes it leaves a little fuzzy hair on the side. If that's the case, all you got to do is grab your scissors and nip it off of there, and you'll be good to go. Then with this, you're going to have another mat that is also punched on the right side. That's going to be for your inside. You're also going to have a white one that has the punching done on just the right side. Now, it could be your left side, but you want to make sure you keep it to your right side. And this is what I mean. Sometimes that punch leaves a little bit of a fuzzy hair on that side. Just use your scissors and nip it off. Okay, so that's your inside setup. You should have this much ribbon. I think it's about 6 inches. It's enough to do a loop, and a tail. And what's really pretty about this ribbon is it's gold and green. So it's Mossy Meadow and then green. So one side has the green and one side it's more goldy. Right? So it's really pretty shimmery ribbon. And this one we set up to be gold that you can see here. So I'll make sure you can see it's green on the inside and then it's gold on the outside. This little piece right here is for your pear stamp set, your pear stamp. So we'll stamp that in a little bit. I did get started right away. I didn't jibber jabber a lot. There's a little piece right here. That's a little side action here for you to have coming out of your designer paper. Now, here's the one thing that we did miss, and we don't want fuzzy corners. No, not at all. We did miss one thing, you guys. When we were kitting this up, completely forgot to round the corners here, which isn't the worst. It's not the end of the world. If you have the Detailed Trio Punch, you could definitely just nip your corners off. But what I'm going to show you how to do is just line it up. We're going to glue it on here, and we're just going to use our scissors, and we're going to round around the edges here. Okay. Now, technically, it would have been easy enough for us to punch the edges, but this way I can show you how you can improvise if you don't necessarily have a punch at home. All right, so this will eventually get glued here, that here, but before we get gluing, we got to make sure we get this background. You can't hardly see it, I'm sure, but there's some the stamping here of the leaves. And then we did round the corners of the white, and then that's going to get matted onto the Secret Sea, which goes onto the Mossy Meadow. And we do have a little hair extra right there. Sometimes if you have a sanding block too, you guys could sand that edge off and those little fuzzies will come right off as well. But just a little bit like that. Okay, so first things first, let's grab our Secret Sea, complete with a dimensional back right off the bat. All right, so Secret Sea, and we're going to stamp the sides here. Let's grab this thing first. And I am going to grab a scrap piece of paper to put underneath here so that if I get ink, it goes onto that. And this is going to be using this leaf background. And there's no rhyme or reason to it, but I'm going to stamp something like this. And I did not stamp off. I'm going straight for second string, straight for first string. So like this. Don't worry about anything that's over here. It's going to get covered up. And I'm trying to make a random pattern. Hi, Sherry Stewart. So is that an oxymoron? A random pattern. So just randomness is what I'm going for. So that can go this way, and maybe this guy can go like that. And then we'll do one more angly like that. So all I did is use the leaf stamp to make that background. Okay. And then on this piece right here, we're going to start off with the petal pink. In the stamp set, these are the stamps. You've got congratulations, a good friend is a gift, hello, 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 thank you, and friend. And then there's these little splatteries. There's the inside of the floweries, your pears, your leaves, and the pear. These are the dies. And then there's this teeny tiny little label where your hello fits into. The flowers here. There's a really cool branch. I call that like a hashtag kind of look. This makes really little flowers, and then there's another label in here. That's really cool. So what I'm gonna do first though, it's really kind of light, but so the white doesn't look so stark, what we did is we stamped that little splattery all over the background of this. My quilts are always planned random. Yes, randomly planned. So you're gonna need the little splotchy guy and the little splotchy guys right here. So if you go with first strength, it's gonna be dark like that, but I'm gonna shoot for second strength, and you're gonna stamp off. And I'm doing this first because I wanna go all over. What happens is if I would have stamped my sentiment first, and I go over my sentiment with this stamp, the stamp is actually gonna pick up some of the secret C, and then it's gonna get into my petal pink ink pad, and it's gonna be a little bit of a rigmarole. So I'm gonna definitely do the blotchies first, splotchies. Just makes it so it's a little bit not so white. Okay, there's that. Then I've got on this one, thank you. No, thank you. No, really, thank you. In Secret C, these are, we use Diane stamps for designing, so I'm just gonna practice with mine to make sure that they stamp good. Yep, all right, so thank you. You wanna make sure you stamp this to the bottom right corner and closer to the right, and then maybe a good 3/4 of an inch from the bottom. What color am I using? Mary, this is Petal Pink, and that is Secret C. Now, if you don't have Secret C, you could use Night of Navy. And if you don't have Petal Pink, Calypso Coral, but maybe like at third strength, Calypso Coral. And all we're doing, I put on there thank you. Now, you could use whatever you wanted. It doesn't have to be a thank you card. You guys could stamp whatever you want for a sentiment. Now on this one, we have the white inside, and on that, there's the double pear. For the double pear, we used Old Olive. I'm pretty sure it's Old Olive. Let me just look here. Pretty sure we used ink. Old Olive and Mossy Meadow. We actually stamped it in Mossy Meadow. So Old Olive and Mossy Meadow are pretty close. Mossy Meadow is gonna be a little darker, but we'll go with the Old Olive for the outline, and we're gonna do that. So it's like we created the pears that they're hanging off the tree, off the edge of the page here. Don't worry about that little top leaf. He might just not all be there. It's okay. I want him to be tucked in the corner. Okay, so we're gonna set this off to the side, and then on the front here, you have this little white scrap, and that will also be stamped in Mossy Meadow. Thanks for the shout out for the thumbs up, Anna Carter. I appreciate it. You made it. Husband is driving as we head home after a week-long vacation. I hope you had a fabulous vacation. Perfect. Oh, Suzanne is Sue Deppis. Perfect. Okay. Please make sure. Okay. And then Mary has it. Good, good. So that is the outline, was in Mossy. Now, we're not going to use Mossy for the insides of our pears. We're actually going to pull in Old Olive. So this is two-step stamping, meaning you have your pear with the outline, and then now you have your second stamp, and these pears fit into the outline like this. And what we did, this is a type of a technique for shading. Wow, there's glitter right there, tons of it. Good, I'm glad you had a great time. So with this, it's Old Olive, but if you look at this card, you can see that there's some pink on the edges, right? We got some blushing. Our pears are blushing. They're a little embarrassed, and so they turned a little pink. So what I'm gonna do is make sure, so the dauber looks like it has pink in it, but I've already cleaned it. That's just a stained dauber. So I don't necessarily wanna dip my dauber in here, especially after I've been getting green on it. So I'm gonna ink up a block like this with petal pink. Question, if you use the white craft ink pad with cloud cover ink refills, will it discolor? The craft pad is the same foam pad. You know, Mimi, I haven't heard anybody tell me one way or another. I understand that the ink is reacting with the foam. So in my head, I would rationalize that if you ink up a white ink pad with the re-inker, that yes, it's gonna react and eventually you're gonna have weird ink color. Okay, now, have I heard that like it happened to anybody? Not at all. I haven't tried it myself because I bought a cloud cover ink pad, and my cloud cover ink pad, I'm satisfied with it. I'm okay with it. So I wasn't going to go through the effort of inking up a white ink pad with cloud cover because mine was good. But, and if anybody's watching that they've tried to ink up the white ink pad, or the white, I should say the uninked white ink pad, and they've used it, if they've had any problems, that would be good to know. What can you use if you don't have this stamp set? Can you use the DSP to cut out the pears? Well, that's a really good question. So, okay, two things that I can answer for that, Sarah. Oh, and if anybody wants to say what stamps they're using for this besides this set, let me know. But here's what I was just looking at. There's some designer paper. So Sarah, if you do have this designer paper, there are small pears that you could definitely dip into a section of your designer paper, and you could put those pears. Now this one we cut it off, right? But you would have had a rounded pear here, and that would fit on there very nicely. The other option was, let's say you have enough with the pears on this paper, you could get by without even putting the pears on here. You could flip this over, well, just not even, like if you didn't stamp that side, you could use this and put a really big sentiment here and let the designer series paper stand alone and not have those pears over on the side there. So two things. Yes, you could use some of the designer paper, and the other option would be to just stamp a really bigger, you know, bigger like Tigger sentiment right here. And then you don't have to worry about having pears. Debbie said, most likely, Mimi, that's why they recommended the ink spot. Sorry, I was in a commercial. No problem, Debbie Gass. I appreciate you trying to help with an answer. All right, so for this technique, what you do is you ink up your Old Olive. So what I'm gonna do is just stamp it to see what it looks like. So that's what it looks like by itself. So what we're gonna do is ink it up, and you take a dauber, and there's a little fuzzy right there, so let's get that off. So you take the dauber and you ink up the dauber with your petal pink. Now, I wanna make sure that I'm doing the two outer edges because I put blushing on the sides, right? Not in the middle. So you ink up with a dauber, which is petal pink. So you can see I got petal pink there. And I'm gonna like blot around the edge here. And the reason why I put it on a block is because when I'm splotching or blotching or blotting, what I'm doing here is I'm picking up green ink as well and kind of trying to replace it with the petal pink. Now, if you're not certain if this is gonna look nice or not, you might just practice on your scrap paper. If you see here, you can, I don't know if you can see, but it has a different color on the side. I'm going for it. I'm gonna do the inside first in case I don't like it, but practice. If you've never done this technique before, you definitely want to get a little bit of practice under your belt. Your cloud cover is just fine. You got lucky, and I did too. All right, so you can see I missed a little spot. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna hover right over the top of that, and I covered it up with a little bit of green down there. So because there was still some ink on my stamp, I just hovered down there and I put a little bit to fill it in. So that's what it does. It puts a little bit of pink. Now you could have used crushed curry as well. Now I'm gonna stamp off, and what I'm gonna do is clean this because I wanna do this again, but I don't want to necessarily dip a two-tone, like there's not a lot of ink left on here, but there's still some, and I don't wanna take the chance. So what I'll do is I'll clean my stamp, and then I can go back and ink up the green again, right? And I still have, you can see here that it picked up some of that green. It's okay. I'm gonna go back and get some more petal pink. And you would think that it would have made it a little bit darker than what it did, but it didn't. It was just enough. Now I'm gonna pick up more and put it on this side over here. So you guys, we did have a great used stamp sale. I didn't chat much on the front end. I had a good weekend. We started off Friday with a used stamp sale all day, so like basically 7 until 3 o'clock or so. We sold $2,600 worth of the used stamps, which was awesome. People who donated stamps for the benefit, we sold about $121 worth of used stamp stuff that got donated for the Wounded Warrior Project benefit that we're doing in November, which is so cool. So we've got a great jump start on a little bit of money donated already. So all of you that sent stamps that we priced for donation, just know that that was awesome. Thank you so much. All right, that filled in really nice. So you can see here what it does by doing the green with the petal pink. It gives you that blushing pear look, okay? Now, I'm gonna leave this because I might do this a little bit later on the next cards. Now, I didn't on the next 2 cards do the blushing, but we could definitely do it again if you want. That's why I wanted to show you it, because now for the next 2 cards, you guys can do the same concept. Did Christine show off any more cards? I'll have to watch the beginning again. Yeah, Laura, I did show off the Let's Just Stamp for next month. So, yay. All right, so that is cool. We got that. Now our leaves, though. So I'm going to grab another blank block, and we're going to color in the leaves. And how we're going to color them in is with a Stella pen, I think, and a aqua painter. So we're going to dip in here, get some green ink. Whoa, that almost was a catastrophe. All right, but crisis diverted. With that, you want to grab one of your aqua painters. If you don't have an aqua painter, a syringe. This is too dry to work with for a color palette, so what we need to do is just drop a drip of of water on there, okay? So now that's our palette, our coloring palette. And what you're gonna do is grab your Stella pen, make sure there's nothing going on in there. And by adding that water, it gives you just enough, I don't know, coloring means to get your leaves colored here. And with anything, you need to keep going back. When you're coloring with water and ink, you gotta go back and get more because it eventually gets used up. So this is a great way to get your leaves colored in, soft, using Old Olive. We're gonna do that on this little guy right here. And then we're also gonna do it on this one. And I do see there, I don't know, I was tempted to go in and color that in. I don't know. Oh yeah, that helped a little bit. You gotta be careful because you don't wanna get streaky lines, and you gotta go back and get some water every now and then. Now, we are using regular basic white cardstock, so you don't want your brush tip overly saturated or it will create a pilling on your white cardstock. So definitely be cognizant of that. You can always go back and touch up a little bit more. Just don't inundate it with a lot of water. You just saw Stampin' Up. It's doing, yes, free shipping. Oh, I meant to tell you guys that. So I got distracted. It was on my radar when we went live and then I completely forgot. But thank you for that, Linda Hunt. Yes, Stampin' Up is offering free shipping, okay? They do this maybe 4 times a year, and it's happening this month. Whoop, whoop. Okay, let me just read the dates for you because I just got the the email in my inbox. Stampin' Up is offering free shipping from July 23rd to the 25th, which is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Happy day. What are you going to stock up on? Okay, so with a $75 or more order, you get free shipping. So if you put in $69, it's not free shipping. So with a $75 order, you get free shipping, plus you could pick out a class with me. Now my class threshold is $60 to get a free class, but if you're going to do 60, you might as well do 75 and get free shipping, okay? The other thing is whenever there's a free shipping sale like this, I take anybody who placed an order, $75 or more, and I put you into a drawing for usually a stamp set that I have that is from a current catalog. So either online exclusive or a current catalog. So yay to that. So there'll be a drawing. And you guys, if you want the update on where we're at, I announced I'm having $1 million sales celebration next month. I'm getting super close. I'm not there, but I am super close. And I put worldwide, not worldwide, but if you get my email, if you get my Cards by Christine emails, I put a notice out there that I'm having a party to celebrate. Because when you have an accomplishment like that, I think that you should celebrate. And then you get right back into it. But you got to stop, pause, celebrate, and then keep going. So I know that my original goal was for it to be happening by September 30th. But on September 30th, if I don't get it till then, I will be in Germany. And we have the Autumn Creative Escape the week before. And then before that is in the thick of preparing for the escape. And then right before that's Labor Day. So in the calm of the end of the summer, before the fury of the fall, I want to have a party that, even though if I don't have it, we're still celebrating it, because if I don't have it by August 17th, I'll still have it by September 1st or whatever day the catalog launches for the mini catalog. So I'm not worried about it. But I want to celebrate in more solitude, peaceful time versus you guys know how it can be. You're probably thinking things are calmed down and a little bit settling for me right now because I'm in the middle. So that feels really good. So we're having the party August 17th. And if you have supported me in my business in any way since 2013 by taking classes, buying products, doing swapping with me, or helping me make the magic happen, everybody's invited. So I know that it doesn't always work if you're not close or local to me. And I just want to know that I am thankful for your support and you're welcome. And if anybody wants to come near or far, you're welcome. So it's on a Sunday though at 4:00. And I rented the local new brewery that just opened up a month ago. The second floor, which is going to be awesome. There's an elevator to get up to the second floor, which is cool for those that can't do stairs. And we're going to get catered, and my friends and family are going to be making all the salads and the desserts. So it's going to be good. Okay, so anyways, what I was getting with that is that just know that all the orders that you help me with between the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is helping me get closer. So I'm going to start having Kelly work with me to do a weekly post maybe that shares my progress between now and when I hit 1 million. And I am currently, let's see, where I looked at it this morning, I'm at 15,500. That's how far away I am. So it's getting close. It felt really crazy because the last year it flew by up until this point, and now it's like I got to stop looking every day, but because I know I'm not going to get it like in 2 days. It's going to take a good by the first week of September I should have it with the launch of the new catalog, because I get everything for the escape in that first day. So that helps. So, but anyways, all your orders that you do between Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to get free shipping, it also could potentially qualify for class, and it helps me get closer to my million. So, but yay. Okay, so that's all that in a nutshell. Do you want me to bring something? Yes, Mary, I started to make a list on Saturday. Gina's like, we need to start planning your party. I'm like, I know. So Mom and Gina and I sat down and we started to make a list of the things that we'd like to have at the party. So there's about 5 or 6 things so far that don't have names next to them. So at some point we can discuss and see if there's anything on that list, or if there's something that you're crazy and craving and dying and wanting to eat that you're like, man, I need to make this, and you want to bring it. That's always great too. So yes, absolutely. We'll get you there. Yes, Jean, you definitely will. Oh, yeah. Okay, I would love to come, but I have another dinner that was scheduled in May. Oh, no. Oh, no. So, yeah, I have somebody coming up from Illinois, though, so that's super cool. Yeah, very good. Okay, so that's a little update, you guys, but thanks for that reminder, Linda Hunt. I appreciate it. Back to our program. We were here coloring, and I think I'm going to leave the blend with the green in it. Or, sorry, I'm going to leave the Stella with the green in it because I don't want to wipe it out and then use it right away again. Then what happens is there's a branch. There's 2 things you can use with the branch. You could use your Stampin' Write marker in espresso, any brown marker, or you could use the bronze here. This bronze looks, oh, he's a little bit dry, but you could use a bronze marker. I'm actually going to use the Stampin' Write marker here. And we're going to color in the branch brown, because to me branches really are brown. So we're gonna do that. Oh man, look what I just did. My Stella pen just opened up and it put the stuff. Oh, that was actually from the blend. Something must have dripped out of there, but it's okay. I'm going with it. It's just paper. Naughty Nancy would say it's just paper. It's extra decoration on there. All right, so we colored in the stem. Darn, I just placed an order on Saturday. Thanks, Mimi. Yeah, isn't that crazy how that works? You know, you definitely have to be mindful. Like, it's a natural thing. You go ahead and place an order, and then all of a sudden they give you free shipping. That's just, it's par for the course. And there was somebody else that said that always happens to them. All right, so grab your dies and grab out this little one. It's our double pair. And I have back here my little baby blue here, blue 42. Oh, Mary, yes, so Sue Deppis. I don't know if it shows Mary Carls. Sue Deppis was here on Friday, and she was mentioning about reaching out to you to carpool for the party if that worked for you guys. So you guys should connect to see if that is something that would work. All right, so long story short on that party, you guys, I need to let the Fond du Lac, oh, I forgot a plate. Hang on, I gotta go get one more plate. Apparently that's not gonna work with just one of those. So for the brewery where it's at, you guys, you don't have to drink beer or any alcoholic beverages for that matter. They have soda and water, but they want to know how many people I'm having at the party so that they can plan to have the appropriate number of people working and serving people their beverages. And so I have to tell them that by the 31st of July. So I sent another email out today reminding people to RSVP via the Google form when they have a moment so that we can get the correct number of people. I will have to fly anyone living near airport. I will have to fly in anyone live near the airport. It depends which airport, Michelle. If you come into Appleton, it could definitely work for somebody to come pick you up. We're about 40 minutes from Appleton. All right, so in the thank you, we had nothing there. So we can get a little bit glue happy. We can glue this in. So this is our white. We've done a lot of prep work. Appleton Airport is a little bit more expensive than Milwaukee, but is a lot more amazing to fly into Appleton because it's a small regional airport. And it's just so much easier and less stressful than going into Milwaukee. I'm not even paying attention. Sorry, Sue. Okay. Oh, perfect. Yeah. Perfect. So if anybody is very anti-Google Forms, you have to let me know because I still want to get you registered and I can do the registration for you. It takes me a few minutes to do it, but I'd rather have you all in one form than not in the form. And I give them the wrong number. All right, so over here, we need to grab this piece of designer paper, and I'm actually going to use a little bit of glue along the edge here, like that. And we're gonna just drop this onto it. And I've got, I don't know, maybe 1/4 of an inch or so of Mossy Meadow showing. And you can always do a little less, you could do a little more. Hi, Susan Bellamy. Definitely catch the replay. Then this is gonna go over here. And what you're gonna do is flip this over. Oh, that's the back side of that. Nothing like putting Petal Pink with Darling Duckling together. Ooh, my goodness. All right, so there's that. I stayed away from the corners a little bit. So how you're gonna do this is going to not worry about your corners, but you want it flush on this side and the top and the bottom. So let's check this over. So there, and there. Okay. So you see these little corners here? If you don't have the corner rounder, this is what you're gonna do. If you would have had the corner rounder, you wanna rounded the corners first. But if you don't, just take your scissors, using the secret C as a guide. Try not to cut the secret C. You're just gonna round the corners. And this one, when I round mine, I'm gonna keep going because I could see that the designer paper was just a hair longer. And then give it a haircut right there. Perfect. Hi, Sherry Martin. That's how you're gonna round your corners. Lickety split. Very good. So no worries if you guys don't have the corner rounder punch. You can definitely still make it work. All right, so what we're gonna do is glue the little white label now onto the blue secret C piece. That. And then you're gonna need a little bit of tear and tape. 2 scoops, right? 2 pieces. One on the back right side and one waiting in the wings. And I wanna see the gold. If you don't wanna see the gold, make sure you have the green up. But I wanna see the gold, and I'm starting underneath the T in my thank you. You wanna make sure you only capture a little bit here, right? So about that much. Make sure you just hit that tape, and you're gonna make a loop, and then another loop that's a little taller or a little longer, and have your tail come out, right? So I'm catching it just a little bit. Now what you're gonna need to do is make sure you grab that ribbon scissors. You're gonna trim your tail, like that. And then when you have what's left here, you make sure the gold, or whatever side you choose, I'm gonna make it a little bit longer. It does go up. So you have a little bit of wiggle room. You have about 1/2 of an inch of wiggle room. So Mary Carls, you guys send lots of love and hugs to Mary Carls. Mom filled me in on your the passing of your little puppers. I'm very sad. I cried when Mom told me for you, Mary. So you guys, Mary's little puppers had a tragic accident this past week, and she had to get put down. And so it is very hard to concentrate, Mary, when you're normally having her by your side. And we all send our hugs and prayers and love to you. I had Kelly and I got a card ready for you today, so you'll have something in the mail. Doesn't make it any better at all. It's going to be hard for a very long time. I know. It's hard to put down our pets that we love so much. They are our little babies, and it's just, especially when you're not expecting it or anticipating it to happen as quickly as it does. So our thoughts and prayers are with you guys during this difficult time. It's hard. I'm crying because I'm thinking about what happened, and I'm very sad for you. So we all send our love and support to you. So definitely, whenever you have a chance to watch the replay, this is always going to be here. So it's hard to concentrate. I get it. I totally get it. So we love you. Okay. So hang in there. Okay. Oh my goodness. So yeah, so sad. Not good at all. But you don't know why things happen. We really don't. And why things are taken from us too soon. We don't know. But we have that. Okay, so I really didn't want to. I got a little distracted. I'm going to put this tear and tape right over the top because I really didn't want to take that off of there. I was going to leave that on there. So now what we're going to do is grab some dimensionals and put them on the back here of our secret C mat. And then we're going to mat this, yes, always in our hearts. They leave paw prints on our hearts. They are forever, get it, F-U-R-E-V-E-R, forever by our side, but no longer by our side, but forever in our hearts. That is how these pets that go before us. So that gets popped on here. And now if that's enough popping for you, you could do this next one flat. I popped my Mossy Meadow up here, but you could definitely do it flat. I think I signed up for the two-tone cardstock share. Should I have geotechnical confirmation? Okay, so that's a good question. I guess I could have sworn that I set it up that if you registered for the two-tone, you would have gotten a confirmation, like an automatic from Google Forms. Now, I can't say if that happens or not. I guess I don't know for certain. What I can say though is I'm gonna interject here for a moment. You guys are amazing me. So it was Jamie Kirkpatrick's idea to do the two-tone paper share, the two-tone cardstock share, and I had enough to accommodate 108 sets of the sheets. And I sent out another email, I think, or I talked about it in class on Thursday night, and from that I had a few more people sign up. I'm at 104 that are accounted for and signed up for, which leaves 4. or less, depending if I want to keep more than one set. I only kept one set for myself, but like in case I want to keep more than one set for myself. So I have 4 or less available at that 20% off pricing, which is super cool. So that's awesome. Now, if you are still on the fence about getting the two-tone cardstock at the price that I had it with the 20% discount, you better get it and signed up for it before that is gone. After I'm done with that, I'm going to contemplate doing a set without the discount. Like the price will go up because I can't get it at the discount anymore, but I don't know if I will or if I'll just let it be. Now, Annette gave me the idea of doing a cardstock share. So paper like this, the Secret Sea, the Mossy Meadow cardstock. So I didn't think about that until she was like, you know what? Some people don't have all the colors, and it'd be nice to be able to get all of the colors in a sampling. And yes, you can get the 2 sheets of their Regals. They have a multiple pack, but they charge you more. They charge you the same price, but only give you 20 sheets. Where if you buy a full pack, you get 24 sheets for $14. The multi-pack is 20 sheets for $14. So what I did is I based the pricing off of the 24 sheets for $14. And so people could pick 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, 6, or 6 sheets of a set. And you guys are amazing. Between Friday and yesterday, there are 24 sets that were ordered from multiple people, which is basically 1 pack of each color. And that is about $800 or $756. So that helps to get me closer to my $1 million, which is really cool. So I'm going to send out another reminder and probably another one later. I think what I'm going to do is wait, because I haven't ordered the paper yet. I'm going to wait until Wednesday when I get free shipping and order the paper then, because that would reduce it by 11%. So I don't want anybody sending any money yet for anything that they got for the cardstock, because I'm going to reprice it at the lower amount and save everybody a little bit on top of it. I'm going to pay that discount forward, okay? So, but that's super cool. So if anybody was on the fence about getting that yet too, just know that it will be even a little bit less costly, because I'm going to give that the free shipping. I'll take that off of the price. So very cool. So for the two-tone cardstock share, I got almost everything in already, and we almost have it all kitted and ready to go. For the people that got it by itself, we'll probably look at shipping that stuff out next week. And for everybody who's getting stuff in August, we're going to have that ship out in August. And for the cardstock, it'll either be the same thing, shipping out by itself, probably in early August, and then on the regular shipping day in August for anybody who consolidates stuff. So if you didn't see a confirmation, what I need, Anna Carter, is send me an email to the Cards by Chris B. Christine at cardsbychrisb.com, and I can look it up for you when I get in my computer. All right, you guys, we're going over lots of good stuff. So we have this little pair here, and what I'm going to do is add a couple dimensionals along the bottom here, and then what we're going to do is put a little glue at the top. So I like for it to be, let's say, grounded at the top, like it's growing out of the top, and then it's popped up a little bit, and we're going to have it just like that. Again, we talked about you don't have to necessarily do this pairs if you do a bigger sentiment, or using a, there was I can think there's Tutti Frutti has maybe not pairs but other fruit, and there was another pair set throughout the years. I don't remember what the name of it is, but there was another pair set. Perfect, Anna. Yeah, I'll be watching to see an email from you. So we put these Darling Duckling gems on here. Now they look a little bit brighter. They look like they could be Daffodil Delight gems. But we have these 2 here, and then that one up there. All right. And we've already stellaed some things because we have our leaves stellaed. I have my Stella pen set up with green right now, so I'm going to let it be. But that's it. Yay. I love this card. I love the idea of the rounded corners. It just gives it a different look, and then to pull in the white being rounded, it just adds to it. So very good. All right. 1 done and 2 to go. Very good. So let's move you off to the side and grab the next card that looks like this. Now this one features Secret Sea with the Mossy Meadow and Petal Pink. The pair we could do the same concept with. So you have a Secret Sea base. You'll have your Secret Sea gems here. So grab those out. This is that new folder called Join Together. That is from the Kintsugi suite, which you guys, we have the Kintsugi class in person on Wednesday of this week, and then it's online next week, Wednesday. I am getting down to the end of that too. We ended up getting 8 more. I believe we have less than 3 left. So if you were thinking about getting kintsugi, you might want to think about getting on the list this week versus waiting till class, because by the time class rolls around, I don't think I'll have any left. All right, so you have your joined together with petal pink, and I have it so that the diamonds are along the bottom, and then you have a piece in here that is this big, and you're probably wondering, what is that for? Well, it's for your 2 pairs. So there's a pair here, and the next card also has a pair. So instead of cutting 2 pieces, we just gave you 1 bigger piece, and it's big enough for you to cut both pairs and stamp both pairs. Hi, Kenzie. The rounded corners make it look like a book, a journal cover. Yes, exactly. So that's for our pairs. This is the stem die cut out of Mossy Meadow, and we're going to color the middle with a blend. You have a strip of white here. You have your pretty designer paper, which is going to get matted onto the Mossy Meadow, like that. And then we have a petal pink inside, and then a white double matting, and then we used the green ribbon with the gold. All right, so let's grab our bone folder and burnish this. And there's no reason why we can't glue our 2 pink pieces down, and also our designer paper. There's a lot of petal pink. Oh, here's the back of that. So that's Secret C with Mossy. Checkered look here. So that one, that. Okay, so that, I kept the little diamonds along the bottom. Yeah, for anybody that did sign up for the two-tone cardstock share or the cardstock share, and you know you're going to be getting August things with me, what you could do is make sure you add either, so two-tone cardstock is TTC share, and the 8.5 by 11, we just have been putting 8.5 by 11 share. Make sure you add those to your August listing so that when we tally up how much you owe for the month of August, that we have those already in the list. Yeah, the pear DSP is really pretty. All right, so we've got a couple things glued and out of the way. This one, what we did with this is we popped that up with dimensionals. So let's go ahead, pop that up. We have it flush at the top, and that might be good for you, or you might want it centered. So that's what we always say, whatever you want to do to switch up the cards. If you wanted, you could center this, and you'd see a little pink on the top and the bottom, but what we did is we put this flush at the top so that you go from the blue to the green, and then you have a little bit more pink, substantial pink along the bottom. Hi, Karen Wetstein. All right, Laura said, I almost didn't buy this set. I'm going to sell the old pair set. So, Laura, do you have the name of the old pair set? I'm curious if we know what the name of it is. I don't remember off the top of my head. I know there was a pair set. All right, I'm grabbing Secret C ink, and I'm going to use Congratulations on here. I'm going to keep it so that the C is close to the left edge. And then I'm going to angle dangle the right side. And then on the inside, what do we have? A pair. We have a pair. Okay, I don't know if there's really words for congratulations. So figure out what you want to stamp on your inside and make sure you do that before you get glue happy. For the pear, we're going to use, I think we're done with Secret C. For the pear, we're going to this time stamp it in Old Olive. And we're going to use the outline first, and I'm going to look really quick here. So this next card, that is the third card, also is stamped in Old Olive. So to be efficient with our time, I'm going to stamp one. And look at this, we gave you so much white paper. Oh man, good. Make sure you use that for something else, you guys. This piece right here, so that's the second part. There's a pair and there's a pair. We made these look the same, right? So they're both with Old Olive. If you're wanting to experiment with the petal pink like you did on the first card, now's your opportunity. Pick up some of that pink ink and figure out which side you want blushing. I'm going to do this side. And add a little bit of the pink, petal pink ink. Okay. And make sure you fill that in good. Perfect. All right, so then you can see here that it's got a little bit of blushing right there. So what do you do then? If you are so inclined, you can clean it, right? Get the little bit of pink off of it, right? And then on this block, it's pretty much used up. So what we're gonna do is add a little bit more pink to it. Because why not do the last card the same way? So we're gonna do green. Right now I'm doing 2 pairs because I've got the stamps in my hands and we're gonna just make it happen. So this next card, you see the whole pair, and that side is super dark. So I think I'm gonna do that side again. This, now it's on my right here. A little bit of pink. You could add the little dot stamp on the pairs. It looks great. You're correct. You're definitely correct. There's a little dot stamp, which we used as background. So what Kenzie's talking about, that little dot stamp that we used on the first card, that we use as background, that's meant to go in the pairs, actually. So that little dot thing, so we're gonna do this in, so here's the deal. It's dark, so when I go like that, it's really dark. And I think I'm gonna see what it looks like in second strength first. And it kind of fits along the edge here. Okay, it looks good, but I went with second strength because I think that using the first strength would have been too dark, but the little spots, that's what that looks like. So it's super cool. Adds little spots. You could put more on, you could put less on. Like if you are so desiring more spots, you could even do them like that, right? So you can just give it more texture. Right, perfect, good job. So what we're gonna do with these is not cut them with our ribbon scissors. We're gonna nip these apart. So this extra piece of white here is great to leave for a scrap. If you ever need a scrap of white, save that, don't throw it away. We'll cut these out momentarily, but on the inside of this, we've got another pair and that stem thing stamped. So let's grab this and we're gonna do, it has acorns in it. Okay, good to know. So we're gonna stamp our pair down here like that. And then we've got the stem, but we're gonna clean that because it has secret C going on. We're gonna use our old olive, right? I'm gonna leave that off to the side. Now on this one, I'm not gonna go through the effort of doing the blushing. I'll show you what it looks like if you don't do, but you wanna clean it. And then pick up some old olive ink, fill in your pear, and then on this one, oh, see, I missed the whole top area there. So what I'll do is hover over the top, see if I can add a little bit more green to fill it in. There must be this guy right here. That is what you can use to fill in the leaves. So let's color them. Like that, I guess. Okay, so we stamped a pear on the inside. If you want that branch to be the brown, just grab your marker and you can color over the top of it. Like that. Okay, I think we've got, for now, the stamping done on this one. So let's continue on. This little stem is already cut out for you in Mossy Meadow. And what we did is used probably, I will grab the, you could use bronze or you could use pecan. Let's see what that looks. Okay, that's perfect. So with the Mossy, I'd go with a little bit darker, the bronze. Here we're gonna color the branch. And then, little trick here. I don't even know if we mentioned this in the tutorial. Maybe Karen, if you're still watching, what we did, these leaves look pretty boring right now. And I don't know if you can see that they're pretty plain, but take your nail or a bone folder and make a crease right through the middle and it gives them the vein like leaves have. And do that on both sides. Like that. You love that I added some pink to it. Great, Polly. Gotta share with you guys how to do that, right? All right, so what I did is I just folded them, and that gives them, let's see if the light can get that. You can see that now they have a little texture to them. They look like leaves. All right, so for this guy, we're gonna cut the right side at an angle. You could always banner it, however you like to do your ends. Do your ends the way you like them. But I like that look, so I always like to nip that side off. And we're gonna grab our tear-in tape. We need one weighting in the wings and then one on it. And the pairs are double and small from 2023. Okay, do you remember the name? Had a phone call from you, so I'll catch all the replay. Okay, sounds good, Mimi. Now for this one, I went with the green up and the gold down. So there's a trick to this though. I'm gonna start with my green up, not the gold. And underneath my ONG-ish area, we're gonna put at a slight angle, like that. Hello, handsome kitten. What's up, big boy? Oh, you look so sleepy. What's up, kitten? Hi, Mom. Are you almost done, Mom? I want treats, Mom. Are you undecided of what's happening here, buddy? You look grumpy. Mom, I'm not grumpy. I want you to give me treats. Excuse me, Mr. Officer. Nothing to see here. Okay, what you gonna make a decision what you're gonna do, buddy. You're stepping on my stuff, handsome kitten. All right. Everybody can see my backside. All right, so you got your green up, and when you pull this up like that, you get your little loopy loop. But what's happening here is you have green here, and now you have gold here. And on my card, I wasn't looking for the gold up. I really liked the green up. So if that's something that you want, I'm gonna show you what you can do. This is green, it's now switching to gold, and then it comes back down at green. If you like that look, great. If you don't, what you're gonna need to do is you're going to have to Freddy Krueger this backside here. So, right? So now you've got the green loop. Now what you have to do is twist it, right? So not twist it, but just bring it up here, continue it with the green up, like that. And when you come down, you're gonna see a little gold on the inside, and that's fine. But what happens is now you have the gold at the bottom again. Well, you don't necessarily, I don't want the gold. So I'm gonna cut this at an angle. I'm gonna put my tape back here so that I have something to hang on to. Oh, yawners. And then grab that green tail. I cut it at an angle. Not really, but I did. And put that down here. And that's how I manipulated the ribbon to be all green at the top. And there's just enough. You guys saw that? There's just enough. Hello, where you going? You wanna go back here? Mom, there's not enough room for me. There you go, buddy. Hi, well, you can share a chair. Aren't you cute? Okay, we're sharing a chair, Buster. Okay, that's what we did. Now, if that's too much work for you to cut that into different pieces, all you have to do is you'll have green, gold, green, gold. You're coming right back. Mom, I didn't want to share a chair with you. I want to sit right here on all of your things. Oh, is that so? Okay, I get it. Oh, you're purring. Tigger doesn't always purr either, you guys. So, oh my goodness. Kitten. All right. You guys are getting your cat action here tonight. All right, or today. Mom, what can I do to help? Well, buddy, you're sitting on my card. Okay. Let's just go like that. Okay. And now we got our card back. Okay. So there's not a lot left here, except for we've got our pairs that we need to cut out, and we'll do that really quick. And oh, kitten of mine. All right, so let's, I think that's the other one. So let's grab the pear dies. So there's a pear in here that will cut out You guys, he'll be here for like a minute and then he will get annoyed enough and he will leave us. But, you know, when your kid is trying to say he wants some attention, it's hard to push him to the side, right? All right. So what we're going to do is die cut out this pear like that. Oh, yes, Mimi was saying you could use espresso second strength for the dots. Oh, you're such a yawner, buddy. You're so tired. All right, so let's grab the mini baby blue here. All right, Tigger, you're gonna help us do a little die cutting? I don't know, Mom. Looks kind of boring to me. Don't get my whiskers in there. Okay, so we're gonna do the pear here. He's like, Mom. You like that, Tigger? All right. Oh, such another yawn. Oh my goodness. Hi, babykins. All right, then we're gonna cut this one. Now, we already did this for the second card, you guys. So let me, as long as I got my mini blue over here, make sure that you don't have anything stuck to your butt, kitten, right? All right, so there, that is cut now. That should be it for die cutting for these cards. Told you he'd move. He just kind of looked back at me and gave me the stink eye. Tigger. Okay, so that's it for the die cutting. We'll be done with this one lickety split now. So this is my sample. Perfect. So what we can do now on this, let's glue and glue. I'll save you for later. All right, so we're gonna prep the back of the pear. So the pear is flat. Our inside is going to get glued in. And then for this, we've got it staged with a couple dimensionals. So I've got this popped up. All right, so this inside can go in. Your dog is getting jealous. He just came and laid on your foot. Aw. All right, so there's the inside. And now for the pear, for those of you who don't have the pear set, this card would have looked perfectly amazing putting the sentiment right there as well. You wouldn't have needed to have this pear back here. But what we did, we added this pear here, kind of slightly at an angle, and then add the sentiment strip right next to it. And then for this one, what I'm gonna do is grab the black dimensionals, put one behind each of the leaves. And what you can do is put a little bit of glue underneath where the stem is there, and that will be flat. And there's a little line right there, that's where the stem is coming out of the pear. And then that gets put on like that. Penciled pears, a single pear and 4 in a row. It's funny that you said penciled pears, yes! Trisha, right on. There was a set called Penciled Pears that has a single pear and 4 in a row. I think that sounds correct, penciled pears. All right, so for this, what you could do, since you have a little green in your Stella pen, you could Stella, if you guys do, I do, you could Stella your leaves there, right? To use up some of that green ink in there versus not using it and wiping it out, at least wiping it onto green paper. All right, the gems. Oh, they're still here, look at that. We've got the blue gems, and we put them inside the flowers. Now, everybody's paper is gonna look slightly different depending on what you got. This one has some yellow flowers here and here. These are covered up. So the question is, where would I put my gems? I guess we can see what it looks like in the middle of that flower, which doesn't look the worst. And then what I can do is put a little guy right next to it. And then I have one more, and that last one, sometimes figuring out where to put the gems is a difficult task. You want to put them where you maybe are going to notice them. That looks out of place. I'm wanting it right there maybe, and that'll be fine. I think that'll be fine. I don't really have a middle of a flower. This looked good because there's a flower, and a flower. But that flower doesn't, I don't think it'll look good to have a gem right there. And I think it would look weird to have it, let's see, as the middle of that. I think that would look weird. All right, so I'm gonna put it right back there. Okay, perfect. Die cut leaves would be great instead of the pears. Yeah, absolutely, definitely. All right, So now we've got 2 cards done. Fabuloso. Very good. Then let's move on to the last one. And we've already done a little preliminary legwork on it, which is awesome. So we got a jump start on it because we already did our pair. And I have the card right there. So this one opens like this. It's a gatefold. Ooh, we've got the double up there. Perfect. Okay, so see what you got inside your envelope. Make sure you don't have anything left in there. You guys like the kitten sightings. I like it. Give him a hug. Oh, I know. I gave him some little belly rubs or chin rubs. All right, so let's flip this way. Be careful. Nothing falls out. I think we did a reverse on this. We kitted this so that your gems are at the bottom. It's like when you go like this, it's kind of opposite of how we normally do it. There is a Velcro dot in there. You have this piece of white, which mats onto your espresso. On this case, you have a leaf set that's in Old Olive. If you ever get something where it's not quite done all the way, you could take your scissors, and it might need a little help getting that last little bit off of it. You have 9 inches of the ribbon, you guys. So much ribbon. You're like, wow, that's a lot. It's because we're doing the lamb technique on that side. We haven't done that for a little while. This is a mat. This is for your designer paper. You have some green gemsies. We'll put those right here. And then plaster of Paris embossing folder just on the side here. And your 2 mats for the inside, right? The shorter edge goes on the right, the bigger flap goes on the left, and make sure you burnish them with them butting up to each other right at the seam here. Sometimes I like the 3 dots in a row and a margin. Yep. So that last card that we did, if you would have moved this maybe to the left a hair, you could have put the dots 1, 2, 3 right on that side there. I could see that. Perfect. Okay, so what we could do is a little gluing. That can get glued. This brown, these 2 can get glued. So let's get these few things glued down right off the bat so that we got less pieces to work with. Perfect, and get that down. So this is a little 3/4 inch strip. It's tone on tone, but because it's embossed, you can see that it's there. And then you have espresso, which fits into that left panel. Open that up to see where it is. And then your designer paper. There is direction to this, so just be careful that you don't put it upside down. The branches are going left, right, but the pairs are going up and down. Like that. And then this brown could go on the inside. Like that. Nice. So that's ready to go. On our inside, we have the pairs of pairs. We have the pair of pairs. So let's grab the chamois. Where do I have you? Right here. I don't remember what I stamped it in earlier, so let's just clean that up. And we'll grab the Old Olive ink, which is right there. We'll stamp these guys in the top corner. And then, ooh, let's do a little pink on this. Just in case you guys are catching now what's going on. You could ink, let's see if this is clean or not. Yep. So you can ink up with your Old Olive. I still have some ink on here. Not quite sure where the sponge oh, there it is. Oop, there it is. Tag team back again. All right. A little pink on the sides. I know it's on the inside, but somebody will see it and be like, oh, that's nice on the inside, giving it that little bit of pink look. All right, again, I was off a hair, so I'm gonna go right back. See if I can get a little filled in there. I did a little, but let's see here. With that Stella pen still having green in it, could possibly lightly touch that up. There you go. I mean, you're gonna wanna color your leaves here. So what happens is if this gets dried on you, you need to add a little more water to it. Like that. Because otherwise you're going to get a line look versus soft line. No lines, I guess you could say. So adding that little bit of water will make it look softer. I don't know if you can, let's see. Let's go closer. Come a little closer, can't you see? Where that was, hi. Mom, I want Scooby snacks. Hi, buddy. All right, so it looks a lot softer. You really sure know how to block the light on me, buddy. All right. Hi, everybody. All right. That's what we got for that. Grab that brown marker again. Draw in your branch. And then we'll leave the inside like that because we put on here a good friend as a gift, right? So you could put happy birthday, thinking of you, hello, 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 whatever you'd like. Then what we'll do on this one, a good friend is a good gift. So we've got the photopolymer stamp, and what we want is early espresso, which I don't believe we've used that yet. So let's grab that. And you're going to stamp that along the bottom. Now, any sentiment would be perfectly perfect. Perfectly pairs. Down here. Right about there. Okay, very good. And you can see that there's splatters. Oh, that's really close. So you can see there's splatters on there. That is from that little pear splatter. Okay, so let's grab that and use Old Olive. If you don't have those splatters, you could take your Stella pen and splatter as well. So those little guys, we gotta make sure they're cleaned. You're in my way, Mom. Right, I know, right? Kitten wants, he's in the windowsill now. He's looking out, looking for squirrels and birds. So I stamped off, right? Otherwise it's going to be a little too dark. You could even do 3rd strength potentially. Yep, that was 3rd strength, like that. You do not need to go where the pear is going to be. So something this small also makes a great background. We're going to go around the horn with the treble horn. And once we get around, we're going to see once if we need to add any more. Grab our pear. Yes, I forgot this whole area down here. I'm going to go right over the word. Like that. And then you could do a little bit more right there and there. Okay, that's probably good. I think that's it for stamping. And then along this back left edge, you're going to need to grab some tear and tape. How are the kitties? They are doing, oh, Nancy's saying, how are the kitties? And maybe you're talking to Cheryl. So my kitties are good. Hi, Sherry Ott. All right. So you need tear and tape. Oh, I did it all on the wrong side, you guys. So I needed tear and tape on this side. And start all the way at the bottom. Go to the top. Don't worry, I put that side there. It's all right. We'll be fine. I need weighting in the wings that much. So with this ribbon right here, I'm not going to worry about the gold, green. But I do like, what did I do over here? I put the green down first. So I'm right-handed, so I like to hold the ribbon with my right, oh man, hang on, let me go back a little, sorry guys. So I like to hold the ribbon with my right hand. So I'm gonna have that be flush at the bottom here. And the trick is to don't do too big and don't go in too far into the paper. You have enough, this should be enough. You'll watch me, hopefully you can see that I'll get it about that much on the edge. And then when you bring it back, bringing it back at an angle, like that, angle. Bring it back. So I never look at the back while I do this, but I can feel with my hands that I'm not going past the tear and tape. I'll show you here what it looks like. Just weaving it back and forth like that, okay? You can see I've got half my ribbon left and I'm just about half. The main thing is to not do too big of loops. So I'm a little bit too close together because when I get to the end here, I need one more loop. Okay, so what happens, this is gonna be good practice for us. You can take it off, right? And I'm gonna make just a little bit bigger of a loop. So we can do that like this. You can see now by making a little bit bigger of a loop, I'm gonna get to the end. Hi, kitten. Hi, Mom. We're gonna get to the end here and we're gonna have just enough. See that? It ended right where it needed to be. So I had a little bit more, I have about a 1/4 inch left for wiggle room, but I'm gonna let it be. I'm gonna put this right over the, you gotta do this right over the top. Otherwise it is going to come apart later. You guys wanna know where he went? I've got a kitten. He's making cookie dough. See if you can see him on that side. There he is. We're sharing a chair, you guys. So, my handsome kitten. All right, so we're gonna leave that like that. Hi, buddy. Oh man, you're making cookie dough back there, aren't you? Yeah, Mom. I really wanted you to move out of your seat. That's what I needed. All right, I pulled off that tear and tape there, and I really didn't mean to. I didn't even mean to put that tear and tape there. So I'm actually just gonna try to cover it right up. Got a monkey in my back here. So we're gonna put some dimensionals. Kitten's happy. Oh my goodness, kitten. All right, so we're putting these here. It's probably excessive. Hi, Fire Tigger. Probably excessive, but again, over here I didn't mean to have tear and tape there. Just, I wasn't paying attention. I got distracted probably by a kitten. Whoa, Tigger, be careful, buddy. Oh man, I've got a happy kitten back here. So this now is going to get placed onto here, and I'm gonna make sure that I am the top, the bottom, and then this, my left side with it being upside down is equal. And this has a little bit of ribbon hanging here. I don't wanna see that. And that's what we call the lamb technique. Just looping it. So that, with the amount of ribbon we gave, you guys got all the same amount that I did. So if you've got that you come short at the end, pull it off and just refinagle it. For this, I'm gonna use the Pecan Dark Blend. It's a little different than the last one. It's gonna look a little darker too, but the pecan gives it a different brown look. And okay, this, what I did, is I popped this side up with a dimensional. Oh, actually, what did I do? Let's look back here. It looks, nope, it's actually just a straight line of tear and tape. So it's attached here, only with tear and tape. So grab that. Exactly, my chair is his chair. Oh, look at this little kitten. Aw, he's so happy. I'll have to show you guys how he nestled in here. So run that tear and tape. If you ever get your tear and tape that's too long, all you have to do is roll it right back and you'll be good to go. On this side, you're gonna center it top to bottom. That's what we did. And you wanna make sure that all that glue is tacking on this side, which is actually the right side. Okay, so something like that. Right, so none of the glue is hanging over. And then you've got this Velcro dot. It's clear on one side and frosty on the other side. So I like the clear side to be on that side and the white side to be on the, like I guess that side. And I'm gonna put that right in the center here. And I'll put that down and press that really good so that when you pull it off, it sticks. Okay, so that's gonna help hold that shut. And then we have a pear that's popped up, and we also want to pop up the leaves. So let's grab our last 3 dimensionals there and throw away a sheet, yay. I would move to do the lighting differently, but if I move, I lose my seat, you guys. So I'm gonna let that lighting come through on my hands and just shine really bright, I guess. Okay, so we can pick these off. And then I've got this pear on here at a slight angle, like that. And then we're gonna put a little bit of liquid glue. Perfect, just like that. Caught his toe. This is going to, okay, we gotta be careful. This actually can't go here because it's hanging off the edge like that. So we're gonna put this like that. Now, if we wanted to, we could put this black dimensional really close to the base right here. And it can't be at any point here hanging over the top. So we gotta like push it down in there. All right, so far so good. And then we've got some green gems. And we've got the big and a big, and then I've got a small. So I like to have the big and the small next to each other like that. And so what we can do is look at our Stella pen here, and there's probably a little bit of green left in there. And I'm gonna try to work some of that out yet. Oh, what I did forget to do, I forgot to bend it. Remember on that last card? What you can still do, even if you put it down already, create that crease in the middle, and this one. I know there's a dimensional back there, but you can pick that up if you and bend that. It'll look nice having that crease there because it'll look more like a leaf has. It gave it some definition. Okay, now on this one, we still got to glue our inside in. So let's grab that. And get that glued in. Now you wouldn't have necessarily needed to use a Velcro dot, but I think it adds to it by having that Velcro dot there because it kind of helps hold that card shut. So that opens up like that. And now when you open it up, if you would have wanted to stamp a sentiment on the inside, you definitely want to do that before you even stamp your focal images. Make sure that's straight. The other thing too is if you know your focal images are here, you might stamp them first and then your sentiment right there. Okay, so now we've got that. That can shut. Boom. Cool beans and bagels. So we've got pear card number 1. And then we've got, that was actually number 3. And here was our second one, and then the first one that we made. The perfectly paired pears. And now in case you're wondering where your bigger Tigger is, I'll flip this a little bit, and you can see, there he is. There's his head, and there's his butt. And you guys, he literally has that much room. He nestled himself right into the backside of the blanket. So that's what our kitten did. All right, so again, these are what we've got for cards. It is the Painterly Pears Stamp Set Bundle Suite. Perfectly Pears, Painterly Pears, right? And we got our 3 pear cards done. Very good. The kittens like to climb onto my shoulders and sit as I work. They are stinkers today. Yeah, so the kittens, like Tigger will do this, and if I had a blanket, we don't rarely sit down and watch a movie. Maybe like in the winter more, but in the summertime, I don't think we've sat and watched a movie actually since like April or March time period. And that's when the kittens will nestle into my lap. They'll lay on the blanket and I'll spread my legs and they'll like Tigger and Hunky will be right between my legs. Honey, never. She's not a lap cat at all. Like, not at all. Like, you could put her on your lap and she will jump. So it's nice that the boys are actually a little bit cuddly, but they don't just sit on your lap. If you go to sit down, they will not jump up in your lap and just hang out on your lap. And they don't, not very rarely up on the shoulders. They do, but not very much for a Tigger. But it's like, we don't have lap cats. So the papers, yeah, so the pear paper is super pretty. Definitely would have to agree with you guys on that one. What's nice about it is if you're not a big fan of the pears, the other side is pretty versatile, which you can see by what we made with the next round of cards for Let's Just Stamp next month. So we definitely had those cards that don't look overly pear-y. Let me just grab them here really quick. Let me grab this. So grab this. We got another Tigger sighting back there. So for next month, you guys, Let's Just Stamp, we've got these, which use the other half of the pear paper, but they do not look like pears at all. So he's back. Yep. I'm excited. Ladies, I just bought an old table on Marketplace and the guy just brought it over it is to have my crafts in the spare room. Wow. Ah, that's amazing. I love it. Yes, Nancy, we did see that there's free shipping, which is awesome. Okay, so I'm going to grab my book to do roll call, not to do roll call, but to do a random number generator for the winner chicken dinner. And we'll see here. I didn't have many people that placed orders to get this class for free. I think there was actually only 4. There were 3, which is, I think it's only 3. I have 1, 2, 3 people. 3 people. All right, so we're going to do a little random number generator with 3 as our number. We'll see who our winner chicken dinner is. So we'll put 3 in here. Oops, I need to hit 3. And then we'll hit generate, winner chicken dinner. 2 scoops. 2 scoops is Jean Shoot. Awesome, Jean. You are the winner chicken dinner of a door prize. And I will save that for your August class package. So, very good. All right. Okay, we did talk last week that I was going to potentially do Happy Mail today. All the cards that I have that you guys sent for my grandma's passing, I have them all here in a bag. But because I moved the class to 3 and it's 4:45 now, I know it's going to probably take me 20 to 30 minutes to go through the cards. There's probably 70 cards. If I had to guess, potentially even 100 cards. And because we pushed this out a little bit, I have Lucky Hand here in person in about an hour and 15 minutes. So I will have people showing up in an hour. And I have a little bit of prep work to do. I got to get the room set up, got to pull prizes and get all the stamps on blocks and kind of get my head wrapped around class tonight. I'm switching gears and we're going to do the sweetest jar cards tonight. So I think I'm not going to do the Happy Mail tonight. We have Share a Recipe, Create a Card, Inspire Others this Wednesday. I moved the class from last week to this week and it's at 10 a.m. And then I have a class at 1 at Burgers and Beignets, and then I have class here at 6. So we'll see what the card is like that Jean Terwilliger sent if we get done within an hour and I have got some time to do the Happy Mail then, I'll do it on Wednesday. And otherwise, I know I won't do it for game night because with game night, we've got 5 games that we're playing plus 4 cards and we do the door prizes. So if I can do the Happy Mail on Wednesday, I will. And then I think, what else is there? That's it. So we've got online class on Wednesday and Thursday. And then I think we have 2 online classes next week. Wednesday is the Kintsugi, and then Thursday is ink, paper, scissors. For ink, paper, scissors, everybody, we made 88, and then we made 32 more. There may or may not be 2 left. I know that there are 2 empty spots in my book, but we haven't been diligent about going through the CBC in the CBC enroll at gmail.com. I need to go through that in that the Gmail account to see if anybody. So I can't say that there are any left, but it's crazy. We made a total of 120, and I know by next week Wednesday I won't have any spots left. So I did create a waiting list. So if you go to that event next week, the 31st, just make sure you put your name on the waiting list. It does say the class is sold out, and at this point it probably could be, but in case I see that there are 2 left, I'm going to go based off the wait list. And if you put your name on that wait list because you're looking for that class, I'll look at that first. So make sure that you go to the event and click on the click here to be added to the wait list. And then for Kintsugi, I think just to give you guys a little information on that, I have 3 open spots on my list. But again, I don't know. I haven't been diligent about the CBC enroll, and Carissa hasn't been in there much recently. So you guys have been tag teaming the emails. You've been sending them to me and the CBC enroll, which is perfect because I've been getting to them faster from my inbox. So if anybody's also looking for Kintsugi, let me know and I'll see where we're at with Kintsugi. But we're almost full on that. For painterly pairs today, you guys, I was down to 6 or 7. I think 6 or 7 is where we're at. The quarterly order-based class that I did earlier in the month, we have quite a few left of that one in case anybody is looking to get that one yet. So it is a large IPS class. It's not the largest. I think for the hydrangea class that we did lavender. There was a lavender class last April or March for ink, paper, scissors. I think we did 132. And we also did for Splendid. There was an autumn one, not this last autumn from a year ago, but the autumn from the year before. That one we did 120. So yeah, crazy. So this is a pretty big ink, paper, scissors for us. All right. Wow, you are so busy. A busy bee indeed. That is so certainly true. But I'm excited because I'm at a point where we're at a lull between events. And the Wounded Warrior project isn't until November 1st. The Escape is in September. We're in July, right kind of in the middle, the early part of the middle. And it's been great to be able to sit and work at the computer and get caught up on the bookkeeping side of things and balance accounts, like checking accounts and that kind of stuff, you guys. That's kind of what I'm working on, like the expenses and the income. Like part of running a business is maintaining the books, right? So I'm trying to get caught up on that. It's been 6 months. I need to get caught up on that so that I'm not doing it all at the end of the year. So hi, Melanie Foy. Oh, there's Diane Bogenhagen. Yay, long time no see. All right. Not certain if I missed anybody else. Did everybody, you guys saw that there is free shipping. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, you guys. And I gave you a little update on what's happening for the rest of the week and into next week. It's so crazy. July feels amazing to me because it's been going slower than normal. Normally, I think I blink and months are over, and it's awesome to say that it's only the 21st today, and we have basically 10 more days for the whole month of July, which is great. So we need that. So we got a heavy design week this week, and I'm excited to bring what we have for August for you to see next week. So as soon as I know what day and time the showcase is going to be set for, you guys can look for it in my YouTube channel. I'll have an event created for it on YouTube, or a video created. I'll also create an event for it on my website. I'll create a Facebook event, and there will be an email, so you guys can plan for that. All those, I do 4 different things to help you guys know that there is a showcase coming up. All right, wonderful. Well, I'm gonna switch gears and start focusing on sweet jars for Lucky Hand tonight. And I'm gonna let you guys see Bigger Tigger here. See once if he will say goodbye to you. Are you gonna say goodbye? Hi, Tigger. Oh, he is hunkered in. He is like melded into this chair, you guys. Yep, he's kind of melded in, but he says bye to, well, he adjusted his butt a little bit. I felt that. So Bigger Tigger says goodbye. I know Honey is over on a chair over there, and Hunky I haven't seen since this morning. So you guys, I'm going to sign off. Lots of sunshine, love, and big hugs to you. Thanks so much for doing the Painterly Pairs class with me. I have really enjoyed making these cards. I hope you did too. Love you guys. Bye.